Chicago, like most big cities, has its fair share of unsolved crime. And in most of these cases, somebody saw or heard something. Somebody may have seen a suspicious person, a car driving away from the scene, or simply overheard somebody talking about the case. With your help, we can put these criminals behind bars where they belong. Here in Chicago, we have too many unsolved murders. We need your help. In these cases, the police department is only as strong as the citizens that get involved. Oftentimes, all the detectives need is a tip, a start. Somebody to call in and say, I saw something. Any little information that you know can be the impetus to solve the entire case. On tonight's episode, we'll take a look at the case of Thomas Ferrell. On December 7th, 2013, Thomas Ferrell, a great guy, one of those persons who would do anything for you, was sitting in his car outside of a bar when an unknown gunman approached and fired some shots into the car, striking Thomas, and he later died of his injuries. Here's his story.
Growing up, since we were all 2 years apart, sometimes we used to fight a lot, but we were kind of close. And as we got older, we get along even better.
I first met Tom years and years ago. He was actually friends with my brothers. I was always with them because of my brothers, and then we just got closer, and then it was just me and him.
He was a loving, caring person, not rude, mean. If you needed anything and he didn't even know you, he would still help you with things.
I remember one time I was at work and somebody got a flat tire and I don't know how to change a tire. And I called him and he got out of bed, got dressed, came up there, changed a people's tire and went back home and didn't take money or nothing. I mean, that's just the kind of person he was.
I have 2 girls and a boy, and they were really close with Tom. He always looked out for them, and he was their father figure in their life.
He knew that the most important thing was his time and attention. He'd cook for them, he'd wash their clothes, make sure they had coats and hats and gloves on during the wintertime. Spend time to them, just listen to them. That was the most important thing. He always had time to listen. So whatever their problem was or whatever they were worried about, they could take it to him and he'd listen.
I looked at him as my dad. He was the #1 closest person to me out of anybody, even my own mom. I told him everything. He kept it to himself. Our conversations were private. He wasn't the type of person to run back and forth telling your business.
A lot of people won't do that, especially, they're not his kids. But he truly loved them, he really did.
He was just a really good guy and always wanted to help people and give his shirt off his back. That's why it was so hard to accept what happened.
On December 7, 2013, dispatch received a phone call stating that there was a victim that was shot in back of the business. Upon my arrival, I met with Sheila. She advises that Mr. Farrell and her had met at a previous bar down the street, and they met there in reference to a pool tournament that was going on.
He called me, wanted to know if I was still awake, and can he come over? And I said, I'm not home. I said I was with my sister because she goes to watch her boyfriend. He's on a pool league.
After the pool tournament ended at the Home Plate Pub, they decided to go to Game Time 3rd.
We didn't talk to anybody in there. We had 1 beer. We didn't even finish it. He's like, you want to leave now? And I'm like, yeah. We stopped to use the bathroom, and then he went outside.
And Mr. Ferrell decided to go outside, bring the vehicle from the back of the parking lot towards the back of the building. And he was sitting there waiting for her.
I walk up to the car, and I open the door, and I get in. He looks at me and he says, call the cops.
Upon that arrival is when she realized that Mr. Ferrell had been shot.
I jumped out screaming, and there was somebody already standing there watching me. So I just got back in the car.
She went inside the vehicle to try to talk to him. One of the other patrons had spoken to Ferrell, trying to keep him observant, held his hand, tried talking to him, tried to calm him down, tried to gather any information that he can until the arrival of the officers, and then we took over as well as the fire department when they assisted.
He went into surgery at St. Catherine's, and he took him up to his room, and I was holding his hand, and then he was gone.
Have you been in an accident? Have you been the victim of discrimination or had your rights violated? Have you been injured? If so, the lawyers at Hale Law would love to talk to you. We offer a free consultation. Call me, Andy Hale, 312-870-6926. 312-870-6926. I look forward to talking with you about your case.
On December 7, 2013, about 1:50 in the morning, dispatch received a call from the bartender stating that there was a shooting incident that happened behind the bar. Upon my arrival, I met with the officers that were on scene already. They had secured the scene and were waiting for detectives to speak to the customers as well as to employees that were in the area at the time when this shooting happened. They showed me where the vehicle was, where the victim had been shot, and the victim at the time was taken to the hospital.
It was just, I can't believe this was happening. I just couldn't believe it. In my whole world, it's just it's not the same. It's just, he's been there my whole life. And the only thing I could do to be there was to watch him die.
Going from seeing him almost every day and now he's gone, it changes your whole life. It's something you just can never get over.
It's just devastating to his family. The pain that they have caused his family, caused his friends, because everybody misses him. My little 6-year-old grandson come up to me the other day, gave me a hug around the neck, and he was holding, he said, I miss Uncle Tom. I says, I know you do, honey, I understand. I said, I miss him too. What else could I say?
They didn't just kill one person. I feel like I'm alive, but I'm not living anymore. And I'm always gonna think that there's something I could have did, that maybe God was giving me that chance to do something to stop it. Everybody says I can't think like that, but I just have to think of it as like He gave us that day.
The business is on 165th Street, intersects with Kennedy Avenue, and the business is a block and a half east of that Kennedy Avenue. It was not a very busy night that night for the bar. It had maybe like 7, 8 employees as well as customers. We spoke to the patrons that were inside, and a couple of them heard the gunshots, and then they thought they heard vehicle tires as they were fleeing the scene. The staff, security, as well as a couple of the patrons went outside, and that's when they observed Mr. Ferrell had been shot, and at that time, Sheila had came out as well, and she stated that that was her boyfriend.
Tom was such a good guy. He never would have done this to you or your family.
Whatever this person had against him, why didn't they just go to him and talk to him? Because he would have tried to make it right. He always tried to make things right for everybody.
Do they know that they hurt so many people?
I just want to know, why did you do it, or what made you go to that point of doing it? Like, did you mean to do it? Did you not mean to do it? Did you know my uncle? Did you not know my uncle? What did he possibly honestly do to you for him to die the way that he died?
I hope that anybody that knows what you did will just come forward to give us some peace.
If they knew, they should tell, because this person's just gonna do it again. He's gonna hurt somebody else like we're hurting, and I just feel like it needs to stop.
Think about, what if this was you and your family? Would you want me to come forward if I knew who did it?
The bar is on the corner of the block, but all around it is numerous houses. It's a residential area. So we're requesting if anyone has seen or heard the gunshots, or when the vehicle fled off, the screeching tires, that they could please contact me to help put this person that had killed Mr. Ferrell away. Took him away from his family, took him away from his kids, took him away from everyone that loved and cared about him. If they can assist us, please contact me, Detective Sergeant Suarez, at 219-852-2981.
I came to the point where I'm like, I don't even know if him being in jail will bring closure, but at least my brother would have justice, and that would help a little bit.
The cases you just watched remain unsolved, and we need your help. If you have any information on tonight's episode or any other cases, please give our detectives a call. We need our communities to come together so we can take back our streets and make our neighborhoods a safer place.